Hi, this is Andrea Kalli, designer of the Winter Wonderland promo template for Camtasia 2022. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to edit this template, not only edit this template, but turn it into something that is not necessarily geared toward the holiday season or a winter location. Let's go ahead and play this template so you can see what it is that we're going to be working with. And as you can see, it comes with a music soundtrack. It's an 18-second template. Great. Now I thought it might be fun to create a scenario where I'm a business owner that sells pet services. Dog walking, grooming, pet sitting, things like that. And let's say the months of December, January, February are my slowest months, and I want to see about boosting my sales. So I really want to stay busier during those 3 months than I typically am. And I like a color scheme of maybe black, gray, and white. So let's get started changing this template. And we're going to break this down between what's in the background, that would be including the text boxes, and then the text elements. As you see, I've got lots of tracks in this template. Scroll up. I have them all labeled easily so you can see what you're working with. And for right now, let me hide or turn off the text elements as well as the music. And I'm going to leave the rest visible so we can work with them. So let's start at the bottom. It always starts with the background. So, what's our goal? We want to change it to a black, white, gray type of color scheme. So I'm going to take this very bluish winter looking color scheme and give it some more gray. So I'm going to take this color here in Quick Properties and let's change it to kind of a darker gray. We'll leave the middle color white, and then I'm going to change this turquoise color to a light gray. Okay, that looks nice. Good start. What else do I need to change? Those graphics don't work well for a pet sitting service or a pet services company. Let's change those. We'll start with the trees graphic and select the image. And I've already added some additional images to my media bin. So let me go and take a look at what I want to change it with. This image right here works out great. I'm going to grab it from the media bin, drop it on the trees graphic track, this element until it turns green, and then I will say replace with clip speed. Now I need to reposition it. Maybe scale it a little bit. Scale it down. Okay, that looks pretty good. I want to also remove those deer graphic, so I'm going to find that graphic track and then I'm going to hide it. Okay, that's looking pretty good. And the isolated image of the lady up here, that's not going to work for me, so let's change that as well. I'm going to grab my graphic from my media bin, drop it down onto the graphic that's in place on the isolated image track till it turns green. Let go, say replace with clip speed. Needs to be scaled up and probably repositioned. Maybe something like that. That looks really nice. Okay. The next thing I want to change is this text box area. These circle shapes are really what I'm using as my text box, as well as these little blue colored accents. So let me change the text box color. I'm going to turn that black. So here's the circle text box track. I will select the group, go over to the right in Quick Properties, and as you can see, it's got two quick properties. We've got the circles And then we've got the circle accents. So the circles right here, I'm going to change that to black. Okay, good. And maybe these accents, I'll make those pop with white. Okay, the color's looking really nice. It's beginning to come together. What's next for me to change? Let me change this logo right here. So I will go find the logo track, it's logo graphic, select the graphic, grab my logo, and right now you can see the logo image that's in the template is square, and I'm going to replace it with a rectangular graphic. So let's drag that graphic from the media bin, place it on the logo graphic track, this logo graphic, till it turns green, and then choose replace with clip speed. Now as you can see, it's much smaller than it needs to be, so I'm going to scale it up. Let's see what we want to do, and if we need to reposition it, we will. That looks pretty good. And as we're bringing in the text, if we need to change the size of that or reposition it again, we know how to do that. Now let's move up the line of our tracks. What's next? Stars. Select that. That's basically these graphics right here. They're shapes, and I might want to change those colors up. So with that stars group selected, I'm going to go over here in quick properties on the right and start to change the colors. Change this from blue. Maybe I want it to pop a little bit with white. There, that looks good. The second one, which is this right down here, this group right here, I will maybe choose a gold. Yeah, I don't like that. I'm going to change it to black. Okay, that's good. So as you can see, it's really easy to change your mind as you're moving along in the project when you're editing, make any changes along the way. Now that basically takes care of all of the background changes that we want to make. Everything up until the point where we're adding and changing text. Now let's start adding the text. We have upper text group, as you can see here. We've got the percentage text group, and then we have the incentive text group. Let's start making our changes. We can already see that the colors aren't going to work for us, and it's not even the message that we need for our pet services business. That's a few things that we want to do. Select the upper text group, go to the right in quick properties, and start changing our text. Some of this I'm going to keep the same words, but just change the color. So I'm going to change the color of "It's a" to white. A lot better. I'm going to do the same with the word extravaganza. Keep that word, but just change the color. Great. Now let's talk about the words Winter Wonderland. What would make sense for me? What if I put in the words Pet Palooza? Let's change our words here. That looks nice. That red's a little too dark red on this black. I might make it pop with a brighter red, a little more Christmassy. Great, I'll change that. And then Palooza. Okay. That really pops. Let's run this to see the changes so far. Okay, so far so good. I'm liking it. Next, let's change the percentage text group. I'll select that group. Off to the right in quick properties. Let's make our changes. First things first, let's change the percentage. I really only want to change that to 25%. Now let me show you something. I'll change that. As you can see, the background one is still says 50%. And what you need to remember to do is always make sure text 2 and text 2 background are going to be the same numbers. So I'll change that to 25%. There, that's perfect. Let's change our text 3, which is basically what we're offering. I'll say off all pet services. Perfect. Let's change some coloring. I need some of this blue to turn to white because it's not popping quite enough for me. Do that. And let's change that. Good. Let's change the background of the text 2 with the percentages. I'm going to change that to white as well. I'm going to change the main percentage to maybe that brighter red. Okay, I like it. Another choice you may want to make is the background color of that percentage. You might want that to be a gold instead. Wow, that really pops. I'm going to keep it. Let's see what it looks like. I'm going to run it. Always run your template as you're making changes. You can see the flow of items, you can see how the colors and the text comes in, and make any necessary adjustments along the way. Okay, this is looking good. What's the last thing that we need to do is to change the incentive text group, which is basically 4 different blocks of text. They just pop in one after the other. It allows you to provide quick bursts of information that's part of your message. So in the demo here, in the original template, you can see that over here on the right, all 4 text blocks are displayed, and they say December 2nd through 4th, it's time to save big, this weekend only, while supplies last. Now that's a decent sized message broken into 4 different groups. And you don't want to really get any wordier than that because you don't want to make it too hard for people to read what's on the screen. So in keeping with the changes that we're making for our pet services business, I've come up with some new text. Let me make those changes, and I'll start with the first one and then speed it up on the other 3 so you don't have to sit here and watch me type. So let's change the first one. So let's say that we're going to say sale December 2nd through 9th. We want that color to be a bright red or maybe even that gold. Let's see. Let's keep it at gold to make it really pop. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and change the other 3 and then show you what that looks like. Okay, made all the changes. This is our new message. Sale December 2nd through 9th, limited time to save big, keep your pets happy and healthy, use now through February 2023. It says all it needs to say without too many words, and it's very easy for people to read. Let's watch this. I love it. What if we wanted to turn this into a Black Friday ad? Let's make a few changes. What is it that we can change? I'm going to change in the upper text group, I'm going to say Black Friday. Pet Palooza. What else would I need to change? Probably the date. So I'd go to the incentive text group. I'd maybe change this first date to the dates in November 20th to 28th. That's a nice long 8 days that they can take advantage of this sale. So it's very easy to take a Christmas-centric design, still use the holiday theme, but turn it into a Black Friday promo. How easy is that? Now let's make a few more changes for a business that is not in a winter location during the holidays. I think the only thing that I really need to turn off might be the snow. So let's go to the snow animation. Snow overlay motion, I might hide that. Let's run it. That was very easy to change. All I needed to do was hide the snow overlay motion. Next, let's use the same template, still for the pet services company. And maybe I want to use this for any time of the year. Let's just say summer. With the right graphics and the right color scheme, and then the right message, it could be for any company having a sale for anything at any time during the year. I'm going to change a little bit of text, swap out a graphic, and see what it looks like. So I'm going to change this graphic down here where all the dogs are to something else. Maybe something a little more islandy or beachy. Change out this graphic, drop it on the track that's labeled trees graphic, but I'm going to replace the dog cats image by hovering it until it turns green, and then say replace with clip speed, and then I'll resize and scale and maybe reposition a little bit. Okay, that looks good. What else might I change? This graphic right here that looks like some holiday decorations, that needs to be hidden. So I'm going to find it in the tracks. There it is right there, the ribbon graphic, and I'll hide it. Okay, I like it. It's not Black Friday anymore, so let's change that to say, I'll click on the upper text group. Let's go back to Pet Palooza Extravaganza. A few more changes we can make would be to change these star graphics or these star outlines to maybe circles. So if I click on the stars group, I made these with shapes and then I'm just using the outline, so I could change those from star. Great. It's definitely feeling a lot less Christmassy, something that can be used all year. I would also maybe change this, scroll down to the pattern motion, and I'll maybe just hide that. That really simplifies the look. Let's run this here. Looking good. Definitely change that date. That's one of the next things I'm going to change. And then I might change the background colors to something a little more sunsetty. So I'm going to change the background color track, select the group, change these colors. Maybe I will go with a very orangey look here, and maybe a gold, or maybe this. Oh, I know what I'm going to do. A really nice blue. That's looking great. Last thing, go up to the incentive group for the text and change the date. Let's just say June. And then the use now through, we're going to change that text to be something more applicable. So let's just say we're running this for the summertime. All right. With those final changes, let's run the scene, see what we think. Okay, the only thing I might want to change would be the color of this text. Maybe Pet Palooza, I'll keep 25% red, but Pet Palooza, let's say, I don't want that to be red. What color do I want that to be? Well, let's just go with gold, because I needed to stand out against that black background. I could also choose a nice blue. I'm liking that. I want to copy that. And you could continue to change the colors on the other text elements, whatever suits your needs, but always just run the template to see what you think. And for right now, I'm just going to keep it as it is. I'm pretty happy with those colors. And when we're done with all of our changes, you just go up to the export menu and then render the video out. So you could see we took a very wintry type scene, changed it up for a pet services business for both the holiday and for a Black Friday sale, and then we switched it all up for a non-winter location that's having a sale during the summertime. So while you might think that this is simply a winter and Christmas Camtasia template, it's really not. It can be used at any time for any type of company that's having a promotion on anything, product or service. So I know this was kind of a long video, but I really wanted to show you the possibilities and what you can do by hiding and unhiding elements, changing up the color scheme to match your message and the time of year that you're having it. And it's very easy to do. So thank you for watching this tutorial. I hope you got a lot out of it, and I hope it gave you a lot of good ideas. Have a great day.